We are fresh from the astral realm, and there's a keyword that's coming through for you, and it's a sentence which is the evolution of your attributes, or your attributes beginning to shapeshift. And this is a keyword that belongs to first house theme, so it's a lot to do with your personal identity that's going through some kind of shape shifting, your personal beliefs, your personal, I'm hearing relations are being directly impacted by this force that I'm hearing is abruptly arising within you, actually emerging within you. There's quite a few messages that we have, but I want to use that as a keyword, just opening up, because this is how you're going to know it's for you, as well as the Pleiadean energy. So these are quantum non-local connections of yourself that are existing in other planetary star systems, yet they're octaves that exist within you that you can attune into. It's bringing almost multi-dimensional otherworldly gifts and attributes is the keyword that spirit keeps bringing through, so we're going to use that, and streamlining that into your earthly timelines. And it's gifts that you are honoring now within this lifeline that you're able to streamline. That's what I'm seeing. You're streamlining, and I'm seeing something around reversing reversal current. So if there's been any inversions where you've been made to feel shame around this, or disconnection from your own divinity, or the power or attributes that you, I'm hearing contain, and something being contaminated and cleared once again, something being alchemized, where you're transforming your relationship to either your own divinity or something that allows you to connect with the divine, but it's an ability that you hold within the geometric architecture of your soul manifest into form. So yeah, we're going to use that as a keyword real quick. So define attributes, especially when it comes to a being with attributes that they're going to be sought out after for. And I'll tell you why I said that, because we have a really interesting astral travel message, but I just want to hold on. You know what the vibe is, okay? It's a free flow, so we're just honoring that flow. You also had 5 of Wands show up in the first astral scene, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, but I feel like this is, life is too short to spend another day at war with yourself. Something that used to provoke you, or something that you do that used to provoke those around you, has now become your source of strength. And it could be something that, again, caused this level of resistance that you could have faced. Okay, attributes are qualities, traits, abilities, or characteristics that naturally belong to someone and shape how they are experienced by others. This is what I mean. When speaking about a being whose attributes will cause them to be sought out after, it means that they possess certain distinctive qualities that others recognize as valuable, rare, useful, or magnetic. These attributes could include wisdom, discernment, healing ability, leadership, creativity, emotional depth, spiritual awareness, integrity, or the ability to see what others cannot. That was exactly what was coming through from the planetary star systems I was engaging with in the astral realm. I'll share that with you. But yeah, you'll be sought out after, not simply for what you do, but for the qualities embodied within you. So it suggests that people may seek this being because of the particular energy, insight, presence, or ability that they carry, something that cannot be easily replicated or learned. So I'm hearing something that people chart sees for. I'm hearing chart would I like going on a long migration or a long journey to develop these skills is something that came naturally to you. It's something that comes naturally to you. It's not something that you had to train for. I'm hearing it's actually something that you remembered how to do. So like a well in a dry land, they are sought out because they naturally carry something others need. So there could be something around scarcity, like scarcity not as in lack, but scarcity as in a rarity, something that is rare within the land that you're in. I'm also seeing soul contract or agreements. So Gaia has within on her, okay, or within her, extensions of her, which are countries. Countries also have their own soul contracts. So even the land that you incarnated into called you forth through resonance because of this frequency that you hold or possess within your being. All right, so the attributes of rare frequencies, those who require that exact medicine will will recognize it and seek them out. So this is something you're going to be sought out after for. And I'll tell you why. So let's jump straight into the astral, and then we're going to dive into this message. You should know if this is for you at this point or not. So this was like a filtration system to open up. And the first scene in the astral I saw was I was doing a tarot reading for you. And we were chilling, right? And the Five of Wands came out. So the Five of Wands, I'll go ahead and read it in this card. As you can see, it's these people in battle. And I said that it also had 𝓬𝓮 and Pleiadean energy behind it. And so the Five of Wands basically symbolizes something that was being integrated in the astral realm that I saw. So you're no longer being pulled forth into, okay, let me explain this. This matrix is a psychological operation. So within this one container, it hosts multiple frequencies, and each one of these frequencies or vibrations are able to interact and engage with each other. And so some will pull you into conflict, or will pull you into conflict, while others will pull you into deeper coherence and alignment. And so there's something around competing attention and being really, really intentional with where you place your attention, what you feed or invest your life force into, especially if it is with diminishing returns. And so you're no longer being pulled into this energetic kind of tug of war. And that could be maybe worrying about how you were going to be perceived or how something would be received. And this even could be internal. So I saw it as different desires or perspectives or parts of yourself that can exist within the same space without creating that chaos. And that friction now becomes your fuel. So it could be an octave within you that has been reluctant. And I'm seeing something around almost like a Four of Coins energy, like holding something back in an attempt to protect yourself, or an attempt to protect what is sacred to you. And I'm hearing there's a misconception that in sharing this, it will lose its potency or lose its sacredness. But what you're going to see is that sacred connection that you have to this is going to evolve into sacred contributions in energy exchanges in this realm, in this phase or stage that the earth is ascending into. And you are also ascending through her own ascension process. So there's something around rising up and this part of you emerging finally, because it's safe to do so, right? It's safe for the soul to come out and play again. And the analogy that I had for this is it's like an orchestra that's warming up, and at first every instrument sounds as though it's like competing to be heard, where it's very loud and the frequencies are kind of scattered and they're out of sync. I'm hearing it's gifts that are recalibrating inside of this carbon-based life form. It's like gifts that you carry throughout lifetimes or are coexisting within these quantum non-local connections, right? So the lifetime that you're leading in the Pleiadian star system and the Lyran star system was coming up, and that's recalibrating with how that's filtered or manifest or weave through the third dimension and what that looks like in tangible creation within this particular plane of existence. I'm hearing how that translates into this realm of experience, which is a realm of contrast, duality, and the law of duality is actually playing out in many dimensions simultaneously. Don't know what happened there, but yeah, it kind of gives me an energy of there's this synergy that's now happening within you. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm going to use that as a keyword real quick. Can you define what synergy means, particularly when it comes to the recalibration of gifts within a new avatar or a new character that you've carried throughout many lifetimes? That's what it's giving me. It's like you've learned how to work with this, or the response that you're going to be having from the material realm will be very different this time around. So I'm seeing it as maybe these gifts that you possess in parallel lives. You know, your body remembers something that your mind hasn't lived within this lifetime. And so you remember that being linked to survival or some kind of instability in showing this part of yourself was linked very strongly to, I'm hearing corruption. It was linked very strongly to chaos. And now it's being connected to restoration, peace, and rejuvenation in this lifetime. So there's some kind of regenerative life force that's happening, some kind of alchemical process. Right, let me go ahead and see what the synergy energy is for you. And then we'll continue. So synergy is when multiple gifts, abilities, or aspects of you begin working together in a way that creates more power than each one could produce separately. In the recalibration of gifts within a new avatar, it means abilities carried across many lifetimes are no longer operating as separate fragments. They are being reorganized, updated, and brought into corporation through the person that you are now. So it's not just about getting old gifts back, but you're learning how they function together through this current identity. So it could be how you're utilizing them, not just within this lifetime, but as this version of yourself. That also could be the life path that you're on, but the synergy is the moment that some kind of ancient gift is now being integrated as part of your intelligence. Yeah, it's like carrying instruments from many lifetimes, but this incarnation is where you finally learn how to conduct them as an orchestra. That was a beautiful closing out. So it feels like there's a cycle that you're closing out or a cycle that you're evolving beyond. And there was another keyword that was coming through. Let me see if it comes back around. You're conducting. Oh yeah, you're like a finely tuned instrument. So there's something that's being fine tuned. It's almost like you're going through a process of something being fine tuned, especially because the next scene in the astral realm I saw was the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is literally gifts that you're going to be sought out after. So I'm going to actually read this message for you because it's very, very prominent in your field. But yeah, something that used to provoke you, it now becomes your source of strength, or something that you do and did throughout many parallels and lifetimes used to provoke people, but now it becomes your source of strength. And I'm kind of seeing it as a provoking force where like oh, there's something playful about this energy though. It's not designed, okay, it may rarely land neutral, but it kind of gives me something that I wrote the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was so funny. It was about the jester, which was like the fool. It was an image of the fool and two knights. Oh yeah, the jester patronizing two knights. It was like the POV. And I said it was you're the master of escalation and de-escalation. And as I'm saying this, it's 15:15 on the clock, which is literally all about transformation. It just turned 16:16 as well. Let me go ahead and find that number. This is what I mean. This energy that's been coming through lately when I tune into your field is just like you think that you're going in one direction and then it's like a swift change in the wind. So let me go ahead and take a look at 15:15. We have to honor that. We have creativity. So again, it's some kind of creative or abrupt force. Keep accessing the creative connection that you feel to the divine. The whispers speak through your creative connection, allowing you to express the beauty that is within you and connect you to the love that is all around you. Creativity is my birthright, and as I express my creativity, I feel a beautiful flow of love and connection. So again, it's some kind of creativity that could bring about, I'm hearing expected and unexpected forms of abundance in your life because you have 888 there at the base. Let me use this real quick with the jester patronizing two knights because I saw it as the Fool card, which is you taking a leap of faith because this thing, it breathes life into your avatar. It's like it animates life into existence. Define this. Okay, the image suggests someone who understands power dynamics well enough to provoke, intensify, or calm a situation at will. So I saw it as like a jester going up to two knights, and it's like, why are you so serious? It kind of gives me human suffer when they take too seriously what the gods made for fun. And there's something about these gifts that you're possessing, and they're extremely, because you know, a jester is someone that is like juggling or doing these different acts in front of like the kings and the queens and all the people in the land. And they are known as this really, really strong archetype for their carefree essence. So the jester patronizing two knights implies a person who may appear unserious, playful, or beneath the traditional hierarchy. There's a way that you're being able to play with these gifts, or you're being invited to play with these gifts and actually beckoned, where there's a safe corridor of passage being provided for you to, I'm hearing, explore with this element that you have within you. And it's very interactive. Okay, the interaction that beings will have with you as you anchor in this and I'm hearing integrate it into the whole of your being opens up vast portions of potentials, timelines, and opportunities for you. Beneath the traditional hierarchy, yet it's actually controlling the emotional temperature of the room. The knights represent force, pride, duty, and confrontation, while the jester uses wit, mockery, or psychology insight to influence them. A master of escalation and de escalation is someone who knows exactly which words, gestures, or pressure points will make conflict rise and which ones will bring it back down. They know how to turn tension into theater and theater back into silence. Yeah, there is something that you do that's also, it could be deeply triggering for some simply because you're mirroring that carefree essence that also exists within each one of us. And it could be inviting the inner child to come out and play once again. And I was seeing that happen in another astral travel message. I'll probably bring that back around at some point. But that's what I was being shown. It's like you're able to witness some kind of tension that happens in the room or just happens as a natural side effect of you embodying this way of being because you're living in the realm of contrast. So, of course, there could be 99% of people clapping, and there's still going to be 1% of contrast in this realm. But you're automatically now entering into a state of homeostasis where you don't have to participate with that 1%. I'm hearing where you pay attention to is what will begin to grow in size or what will begin to become your dominant field of perception. So what used to provoke you, and it could be that 1%, actually becomes your source of strength and anchor. That's what this is. Now, let me go ahead and take a look at that Eight of Pentacles and read it to you. Eight of Trees talks about productivity, speciality, and skills. It says a small city nestled in with trees buzzes with life, scenes playing out in each window of every house. The tree-lined city is filled with people who are skilled in various unique trade. Alone, each person is a master of their craft, but when brought together, they thrive in all areas of life. When the Eight of Trees shows up in a reading, it's a symbol of great accomplishments. You've mastered your skill and have now become somewhat of a specialist. This is part due to your ability to be a productive member of society and streamlining your focus. That's what it is. It's like you're streamlining your focus. You now have something unique to offer and it will be sought out after by others. Don't shy away when people come to you for your advice, skills, and take it as a sign of your masterful growth. This gives me 10,000 hours. There is a certain level of dedication and relentless devotion that you've had to some type of area of your life where you've been recovering some type of memory. I'm hearing it's something that has actually come easy to you because it brings you immense amounts of joy, joys, plural. So maybe there's multiple things that you're doing or a multifaceted being. And for that, you do it for the pure satisfaction, you do it for pure love of the game. And I'm hearing it's something that reconnects you with your own soul. Now, in the astral, I also saw Alcyone, which is a planet that is, well, it's a star cluster. It's basically a cluster of stars. It's a fixed star that's linked to the Pleiadean star system. And I also saw this conjunction, which is a fusion between two celestial bodies. And it basically talks about you becoming a channeled of heightened intuition and multidimensional awareness when it comes to Pleiadian style remembrance. And so there's a Pleiadian card in here that I'm going to go ahead and read for you, but it talks about coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. And essentially, it talks about the Pleiades are higher civilizations that have reached levels of consciousness where it becomes impossible to disrespect, already judge another being simply because they understand the profound levels of suffering that is happening within the hidden architecture or inner realms beneath subtle awareness inside of another individual. Therefore, they can recognize that all cruelty springs from weakness. And that is the weak connection that we have to our own divinity. I'm saying never severed, but it's a fragmented or distorted or inversion that the human's moving through that's always in benefit for them at that stage of their evolution, but ultimately hurt people. And so it can bring profound levels of suffering when we actually resist the gifts encoded within us and we feel disconnected from that. And when you begin to mirror it, you are mirroring back that infinite potential back to the humans around you. That's what it is. It's almost like, yes, you can do this too, you can play too. And so energetic boundaries are really important when we talk about our Sion. It's actually part of the initiation to say, I'm not responsible for what would be the word? For what emerges within your inner realms as I live out my truth. I am not responsible for regulating your nervous system if something that I'm doing is triggering. That may be revealing a place within you that is asking to be recognized, it's asking to be set free, it's asking to be expressed. And so I'm seeing it as ways that you impact people where the trigger could actually be the biggest gift because you're illuminating something that I'm hearing those that don't want to see or those who don't want to be shown. It's the synchronous moon rotation energy. So it kind of gives me that archetype. And so you have the ability to perceive what other people may not be able to. All right. So even if that rises unconsciously to the one that's projecting, I'm hearing unresolved emotions rise in a way that may be unconscious to the one. I'm hearing giving unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice always tells you more about the needs of the giver than the receiver. They're essentially saying, hey, I don't want you to do that thing because when you do that thing, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm suppressing this part of myself. And so I'd rather that you didn't do that thing so that you don't trigger me. So there is something around stepping and standing in your own light unapologetically. And that could be the master of escalation and de-escalation energy. Anyway, it talks about the Pleiades said to be like human beings who honor the feminine and live in advanced ways that we can on earth also experience if we are to accept and honor the holiness of the female body. If we were able to travel to the Pleiades in the third dimensional world, we would not find these beings. However, for they have transcended the physical state and operate in a higher vibration. Pleiadian energy is coming together in peace and harmony. You're blessed to receive this gateway, for it's a powerful message of reassurance that whatever uncomfortable energy you're experiencing right now is soon to be washed away. The Pleiadians are beings who live in complete honor of their planets and people. They acknowledge that in seeing and connecting with one another, they have an opportunity to see the experience, to see and experience the divine. I'm seeing you as a being that looks at cruelty that's arising within another, and there is no judgment. It's just recognition of the deep, profound suffering and self-created cycles of suffering that the human may be unconsciously choosing to keep themselves in at this stage of their journey. And that's susceptible to change. It's just oh, I just see you as a divine being. Yet there are certain belief systems that you're still holding that are just obstructing the way that you see yourself. And I'm seeing that as the gesture energy come up to the nights, and it's like flutter, flutter, like clear the thought bombs, clear the debris. It's that energy of, oh, merge your human nature with your divine nature and let yourself free. Right? Let yourself be free, you know? There's that energy. So there's something around you leading by example, but you're not saying it with words. You're just saying it through your embodiment of, I see you as perfectly imperfect, and I accept all aspects of yourself, even if you have not yet learned to accept them. I accept the parts of yourself that you are still rejecting. There's that element where there's so much power with what's being said. And I'm hearing what is actually not being said by you. So not what you're doing, but the things that you're not doing. All right, so again, it becomes impossible to disrespect others, especially if you're challenged by loved ones now. Aim to shift the dynamics and see that there's an opportunity to heal old wounds and operate from a higher state of being. So again, it's like this silent awareness. It's not something that shouts off of the rooftops of, hey, I can do this and you can do it too. Especially because Lyra was showing up, which is part of the Vega constellation. And that is really strongly linked to gifts of creativity. It's known as the celestial musician. So it's all about sovereignty and ancient beauty and gifts and leadership and sound frequency, and essentially the desire to create something that's original, but it requires for you to not dim your own individuality to remain accepted. And so that was basically the theme that was showing up. You might want to watch the teaching that I did around the wolves dissolve when you see them differently, especially understanding that liberated is the soul that can see everything as an act of love or a call for love, exaggerated emotions that surface within a human being usually reveals some type of unmet needs of their inner child that is asking to be recognized, it's asking to be held, it's asking to feel safe and secure. And so in that teaching, I basically talk about field literacy and telepathy and picking up on the things that, someone isn't saying and understanding how their very strong fixated opinions just are essentially confessions in disguise that reveal the evolutionary history of how that human being has experienced energy exchanges on Earth up until the present moment of their interaction with you. And so you can really understand the worldview that someone can hold and how that worldview can be so corrupted in how we become a product to the environment of this realm, how we end up adopting and inheriting societal programming and social conditioning and engineering that weaves through generations, and how it can really create a lot of distortion in our field from what we innately all are, which is light. And light that wishes to play and express and experiment and explore in this dimension. And so there's that type of energy. And the Fool in this card also talks about death. And it's essentially a beckoning energy that speaks very strongly to a new lifetime within this life. So it could be something that you're doing and it's creating a very disorientating energy for those around you that could lead to, again, things escalating, but then also de-escalating very quickly, where it's like, all right, this isn't about you, this is just something that I'm doing to reconnect with my divinity. Wow. So that scene is all about the remembrance of unique gifts. I'm going to go ahead and, we even had the Death and the Fool card in this, where it talks about this is an escort into your new chapter and it opens a door for a new lifetime to unfold. So that's something that's happening. You could be mastering 2 lives in 1 lifetime. Don't forget to realize the beauty and the infinity of things. So the second scene I saw was you healing eyes and skin. And I said that you were able to heal someone's vision. And I also said to you when that happened that as the nodal axis is shifted, this would expand on a much larger universal scale. I spoke about it as you incarnating into systems that you are now evolving beyond. And there was a story about you teaching yourself how to share these unique gifts with the collective. So yeah, that's physical restoration. It's some kind of clear vision where you're continuing to expand with this steady mastery. 8 of Coins is usually somebody mastering something that ends up evolving into a 10 of Pentacles moment, which is all to do with legacy and how you touch people and how you leave your imprint or impression onto planet Earth. And again, it's something that people will naturally seek out wisdom and healing that you've been able to cultivate. Then the last scene was trust after survival. So I'll pull a message on this. And there were themes of trust, betrayal, and trying to navigate situations and understanding how precious life was, especially after exiting survival mode. So it could be where you were creating for how you would be perceived versus creating for creation's sake. And you were learning how to trust yourself. And I said it would be shown through ultimate action in the end. So that was centered around navigating trust after betrayal. And your survival was not the end of the story. It became the foundation for you choosing yourself, trusting your inner guidance, and allowing decisive action to reveal the highest outcome in the end. So there could be something that you're acting towards, something that you're honoring as well. I'm going to get a Cosmos Oracle message for this. Tell me about the trust after betrayal. Geomagnetic storm. Geomagnetic storm is some type of ripple effect that's being sent out through, I'm hearing, known and unknown universes. Let's clarify. So you have parallel universes, of course you do, right? No wonder that came up. So known and unknown universes. Parallel universes is, again, this is all about various universes. I'm not going to get too much into it, but let's say this place right here, this coordinate within this universe, is this carbon-based life form that you're incarnated into. It's composed of the cells of planet Earth, and it's manifested due to the natural laws of this physical environment. So for optimal function, this carbon-based life form is able to operate under the physical laws of gravity and such. Compared to a really distant universe, you would look vastly different. You would manifest due to the natural laws of this physical environment. And maybe the physical laws within that universe, as a multiversal universal organism of consciousness, you'd be leading a life in the Pleiadean star system. And so your archetype would look a very specific way to adjust to the natural dimension of that realm, okay, the frequency of that realm. And maybe these are blue skin beings, or they're beings of light, right? They're beings that transcend the third dimension, and they take on archetypal expressions to be able to navigate that specific field of creation. Does this make sense, right? As a vessel, as a medium, as an avatar. So that's why starseeds look a very particular way, just to put it in really short, right? You're composed of the cells of that particular star system. So these are different archetypal expressions, but with geomagnetic storm, I'm seeing something from various universes, and parallel universes also talks about the power of choice of what you're choosing to anchor into this planet. What's super interesting is we also have the mystic here at the base, and the mystic basically talks about coming down from the pedestal that the world has basically tries to put you up on, and meeting someone on such a level and interacting with the rest of society, for there's knowledge that you have streamlined from this hidden wellspring, and you're now being called to share that with the masses. And so it reminds you of your mystic rebel reading that I did as well. So I'll link that down below. There could be something that you're weaving into existence or weaving into your work, because weaving is also here at the base with the Page of Swords. So again, that could be a course of study, something that you're communicating or sharing. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then I'm going to love and leave you right there. I'm hearing advice, so we'll get an advice card for you too. So disturbances to the Earth's magnetic field caused by shockwaves. So there's something that you're doing, right? Something that you're streamlining from these other parallel existences that's causing shockwaves. It talks about connecting with each one of the elements. So water, fire, earth, air, and I'm hearing the ether as well that you breathe. And the thing is, ether and time essentially the same. It's all about time travel and you time traveling with the mind. And so you can project your consciousness far beyond your physical avatar or anatomical body and suspend that into the quantum field, derive back that information and anchor that back into the present moment. And as you take action in the present moment, it sends ripples through space-time that you'll later be able to intersect with. So I'm seeing there's some type of accumulated action that has occurred where you're now beginning to see, or I'm hearing you know, when you run, I don't know if anyone else feels this, but when you run, sometimes you don't feel how much you run or how much distance you've covered until you stop. And it's almost like the G-force energy, like something catches up with you. And I'm seeing it as physical reality is catching up with some type of internal work that you've done or some type of integration process where you're beginning to see that translate into your physical experiences. I was also about to say transcend. So there's something that you could be transcending, and that could be your worldview while inside of a dynamic. So it talks about solar storms and disturbances which can last between several hours and several days. The last solar storms energy that I did, I'll try and find it and link it down below, but it reminds you of the sun energy. So there's some type of information that you're receiving that's transforming the way that you're relating to your experiences on Earth, particularly the way that you're relating to them emotionally. It's recommended to choose the element portal which resonates with you most at the present time and carry it out. You can also choose to combine all of them. It also talks about solar flares. So something that was previously withheld and is now resulting in some kind of alteration of your path. So it talks about energy being released or energy again emerging that was previously held back. So there's something I'm hearing giving yourself permission to explore. And then you had the parallel universes, which is literally all about the power of choice. And the main message for this is that every choice you've made attracted threads and threads of energy, no matter how small or irrelevant it seemed. It's molded who you are today. With each choice, infinite possible webs transpire into other realities. Many of the things that happen to us do not come through choice, but we can choose what to do with them. The decisions of the universe work in mysterious ways, but always in our favor. Our choices are sometimes correct, and other times we can make them be. So I'm hearing this is about there's no more time to inaction. Action the inaction. That's what this is giving me. And that's what the Five of Wands is. Like, life is too short to spend another day at war with yourself. Life is too short to spend another day at war with anyone else within this system as well, because it is all you. So it's still with yourself. You know, that's what it reminds me. Life is too short to die with your art still inside of you. That's what this is. And so there's something that I feel like you're here to share or express with the world, especially if this finds you. Advice. Your advice is the spiral. So you can see this as a virtuous cycle or a vicious cycle. It all depends on your perspective. So the way that you're thinking about this will impact the way that you're feeling about this, and ultimately will shift the way that you're experiencing it. You have cell here, which is about your auric layer. And this is saying that external opinions, ways that people see you or feel about you, shouldn't govern the relationship that you have with yourself. It shouldn't penetrate your field. This is a gatekeeper energy from the cell membrane, and it decides what goes in and interrupts your inner world and what goes out. So there is something around, I'm hearing absorbing nutrition, and that's why the Five of Wands came up. I feel like, again, it was like something that used to provoke you or used to throw you off course or off balance. Nothing can deter you. There's some type of relentless devotion and relentless devotion that nothing can throw you off course. It's like you are the path. That's what this reminds me of. So with that being said, I feel like this is going to be confirmation for you. I trust that this is going to meet you exactly when it needs to. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. Personal reading details are also down below. Again, guys, I am just going to say this one last time. If you're looking for a personal reading at the current price point, now would be your window to do so, because in August they are going to be rising. So just putting that out there. Also check out OTTER if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones. I have kunzite, rose quartz, and rhodonite on today, which is all self-love stone. That's been like my favorite mix as of lately. And let me know what this is for you. Let's put something in the chat. If you made it to this point, comment down below. Let me think. Comment down below something that's symbolic of the Fool card. Okay, it could be the Joker, it could be the Fool card, it could be some kind of ace, some type of new beginning. What it could be the spring emoji of like the plant or the seed that's springing forth. Something that is symbolic of the Fool and the Jester. And that will be it. Until next time, my love. Bye.